One of the most important mechanics is battle effects and removal. So let's take a look at an action that has a battle effect. And a good example would be one of these Radiance actions. So Shock Radiance, this is how we increase our Shock Aura. And in the action for Shock Radiance, we can see the event data. Now this is the event that happens in game when you use Shock Radiance. It says battle effect. Now what this means is that when you use Shock Radiance, you're going to be casting a battle effect. And a battle effect is something that sticks around and has an effect on the battle for a certain duration of time until it goes away. Now, as we already discussed, the effect that this battle effect is going to have is it's going to give us +1 shock aura. So as long as this battle effect sticks around, each turn we're going to be generating 1 additional shock mana. How long it sticks around is determined by these values up top. Now we can see there's 2 things here. Every battle effect is going to have a durability, and that's shown in game by these lock symbols. Now we can see here that the base durability is 2, but if you have 3 green magic, when you cast this battle effect, the durability is going to get +1, so it's going to go up to 3. Durability is how hard it is for your opponent to remove it from the battlefield. The way battle effects get removed is called removal here. Now I'm just going to filter out. These are all the actions that provide removal. This is kind of the most basic one. Purge, we need blue magic and water power to equip. We can see Purge costs 1 water mana to use, and it's going to provide us with 3 removal. Removal is 3 + 1 per blue magic. Now, what this means is when you use it, let's say you have 1 blue magic when you use it, you're going to get 4 removal. And that means you can remove a total of 4 locks from battle effects from the field. So if your opponent had cast, let's say, Shock Radiance that we were just looking at, and it has a durability of 2 locks on it, if you have a removal of 4, you can remove that, and you'll have 2 removal left over to remove other effects from the battlefield. So that's the interchange of durability and removal. Removal is really important in this game because there are certain battle effects that are extremely powerful that if you just let them sit around, they're going to give an ongoing effect and really power up the other side. So I would say it's really important for each team to have some sort of removal option to fight against your opponent setting up powerful battle effects. The other thing I should mention is the timer. Now this is more straightforward. If your opponent doesn't remove it, going after the durability, the timer is how long it's going to last before it goes away on its own. And so we can see here, timer 4 + 1 per support. So if our fighter has 2 support, when we cast this battle effect, it's going to have a timer of 6, meaning it sticks around for 6 turns. Now that's going to give us, over 6 turns, it's going to give us 6 shock mana, which is quite a lot of mana. So if you can remove it immediately, you're drastically reducing the amount of shock mana that I get. Now, not all battle effects have a timer. Some battle effects are, it'll say indefinite here, timer indefinite, meaning that it doesn't have a timer. It's going to stick around all game until your opponent removes it using some sort of removal attack. So those are kind of the most important ones to remove because if you don't remove them, they're just going to stay forever. The last thing that'll show up in here is something called expire on substitution. So if we look at Shield Bash, now Shield Bash is interesting because it's kind of got a lot of stuff happening in the event. We have an attack. So first we're going to do a shield attack. We can see it's of type shield, and it's going to deal our base shield damage. So whatever shield we have equipped, it's going to look at the base attack values of that shield and use that as the base damage here. And then we're going to add on 6 physical damage, +2 for each defense training, 3 earth elemental damage, +1 for each earth power. Shield Bash is also going to provide us with a certain amount of removal. The base is 0, but if you have at least 3 earth power, you're going to get 1 removal. If you have at least 6, you're going to get a second removal. So the max removal you can have from Shield Bash is 2. And what this means is if there's any battle effects that have 3 durability, you're not going to be able to remove them at all with Shield Bash. So the durability scales really well. A battle effect with 3 durability is actually a lot more durable than 3 separate battle effects with 1 durability each, because the ones that have 1 durability each can be removed by 3 separate removal instances to remove them one at a time. But the important thing to note is if you can't unlock all of the locks in one go, you can't get rid of it at all. It's kind of all or nothing. So that's why it's really valuable to up your durability as much as possible whenever you cast something. Now, when you use Shield Bash, so you get all these things. You get the attack, you get the removal, and finally, we cast this battle effect. This battle effect, it affects our opponent. So this is a debuff. If you look at the ability, the debuff is your opponent's going to have -7 agility, and then for each dexterity you have, you're going to decrease their agility further. So if your fighter has like 3 dexterity, when you use Shield Bash, they're going to get -13 agility, and your opponent also is going to have a debuff of -3 agility. So the idea is like you use Shield Bash, you kind of knock them off their feet, and their dexterity is reduced. Now, if we look at the expiration data, you can note that this expiration data is the exact same that we saw on Shield Bash. We got a timer of 2, so it's only going to last for a couple turns. We can see at 4 defense, it's going to go up. Durability of 1, so it's not very durable. Your opponent can get rid of it pretty easily. It also has this symbol, expire on withdraw. Now what that means is, so your opponent is going to get this battle effect cast on them, Shield Bash, knocks them off their feet. But if you withdraw, if you switch fighters and so pull your fighter back, this goes away.